Hi everybody, it's Trent from Farmers Insurance, the Nyhus agency,
Tad Peterson with LakePlace.com, Brothers Realty.
and our guest today is Joe Moan from Lamperts of Amery. Uh, Joe is meeting with us today, going to go over kind of the difference between Lamperts and a big box store. So,
Sure. Yeah, number one, thanks, Joel. Thanks for letting us record here, and we'll jump right into your questions here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, awesome. What types of services does Lamperts offer here versus like a big box store?
We have a full line of services, starting with at the beginning with our design. We are a partner company with a company called Paradigm, so we can do full construction blueprints and assistance with design and picking correct products right off the bat when a customer walks in. We also have one specific person at each location that does our cabinet design, which we're sitting in that area now. They also go out and do on-site measurements, so we make sure it's correct the first time. Really helps out a lot when our lead times are the way they are. We have a large contractor base that we can refer to our customers based on their project needs. We also do project coordinating, when to send certain products out, do a complete schedule for the customer so they know if they need their roof load first, or not roof load, floor load first, and then wall load, and then roof load, so on and so forth.
Cool.
We have over 200 years of combined experience amongst the salesmen, yardmen, everything here. So
Just an Amery here?
just the name.
Oh, wow.
So in the construction industry, a lot of the guys that have been here for 30 plus years
Wow.
in the sales department. So
Interesting to see the changes in the industry, amongst people that have been here, a few years versus 30 or 40. I mean,
absolutely,
Yeah.
but just the products.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask a dumb question? How many Lamperts locations? I mean, I don't even know this. Is Lamperts like just in Northwest Wisconsin, or are we all over Wisconsin? Are we nationwide?
Lamperts is a Wisconsin, Minnesota company.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's, I believe, maybe a little bit down into Iowa.
Okay.
The company that owns us is USLBM, and they literally have locations all over the United States that have to do with the building industry.
And you had told us that USBLM or USLBM, they
Yes.
just recently bought you out.
Nope, they bought Lamperts out, I believe, 6 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
And they just purchased Aero Building Center.
Okay. Arrow, same thing, Wisconsin, Minnesota based, or is that a nationwide deal?
That's same Wisconsin,
Okay.
Minnesota-based company.
Okay. So probably a very good addition to Lamperts.
Yeah, absolutely. With the amount of people we're short-handed these days, it's nice to consolidate and fill the gaps.
Oh, absolutely. For
sure.
Yep.
so my question for you, Joe, is does Lamperts Lumber offer delivery? When I was right out of college, I actually worked for a big box store that did deliveries. So just wondering if you guys kind of do the same thing, or do you just have the contractors come and pick them up?
You can pick up. Contractors do pick up, but we do offer free delivery. And it doesn't matter if it's just a couple pieces of lumber or if it's an entire load of shingles.
Awesome.
We also have a large fleet of trucks that we own, boom trucks for the big heavy loads. We have a Moffett truck that we recently purchased that can help us to get in the hard to get places, like say you order a new deck, you don't want to have to carry it all the way around your building. We're able to bring the product around and put it where you'd like, along with box trucks for our cabinets, windows. We even have trailers that we allow customers and our contractor to use.
Oh.
If, say, you're blowing more insulation in your attic, you can take the trailer home for the weekend, keep everything under cover.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Cool. What is the difference in quality of products when you buy stuff from Lamperts versus the big box stores?
So, Lamperts, we only offer a premium grade lumber in SPF treated in Doug fir. Your Doug fir is going to be your heavier lumber, 2x8s, 2x10s. Treated lumber is also a Doug fir
Okay.
that's treated. But I did bring an example here for you to show you the difference between a construction grade number 2 or better or premium 2x4. And you guys can see it here. This being a premium, you pick this off our shelf here.
Yep.
This is what you're going to get.
And this is the stuff that came out of the beaver pond.
Correct. So you can do the same thing with both of them, but you're not going to get the same quality of a product
So
and accuracy.
I remember requesting a bid for some stuff one time, and I had mentioned to it wasn't here, I'm sorry, but he said, I told him, I said, well, at this other store, I can get the same amount of lumber for this price. He said, well, if you want me to quote that type of lumber, let me know. I guess what I'm saying is, if quality wasn't someone's top priority, could you quote them with this grade of lumber, or do you guys not carry it at all?
We can get it. We choose not to.
Okay.
You end up with, you send out 100 studs, you end up with 50 back because they're upset because they're crooked, twisted.
You want your customers to get this.
Correct.
But you're gonna have to pay a little bit more for it.
Right.
Is it a percentage, or is it a set amount, or? And I'm sure it varies too.
It varies right now, and with the roller coaster on pricing, I can't even put a number on it.
Okay. But is it significant, or is it?
Not
I suppose as the
necessarily.
project gets bigger, the gap gets wider.
In a sense, yes. There's a lot of product that we carry. It all depends when we get it in versus when our competitor gets it in.
Okay.
You buy it at this price, you have to sell it
Yep.
at this price. So it works both ways.
So, in a lot of small towns, we're seeing, obviously, me and Tad being from Turtle Lake, our hometown does not have a hardware store anymore. Does Lamperts carry just basic hardware? Let's say I'm trying to hang something in my office or hang something in my house. Do you guys just have basic hardware in the store?
We do. We have a complete hardware department. We carry a large variety of, like any other hardware store does. Everything from electrical to plumbing, paint. We have a great paint department. Gardening, landscape, tools. We are a Milwaukee dealer.
Okay.
So if there's anything Milwaukee you want, if it's not here on the shelf, we can get it.
So, Joe, are you the one that puts in the different dyes to get your paint the right color?
No.
Because that was my college job, and I was really bad at it. So I'm sorry about the other store up in Crookston, Minnesota, about that, and sorry for people that bought the paint that was the wrong color. I am colorblind, so it's not my fault.
Does Lampert offer charge accounts?
Yes, we do, and it's a very, very simple process. You can come in, fill out an application. Usually we have it approved within 24 hours. We see a lot of customers that want to build like a bigger project, a garage, a new home. They'll come in and fill out an application to set up an account for that specific project.
Okay.
What's nice about it is it's, like I said, quick and easy, and it doesn't show up on your credit as a hard inquiry. It's a soft pull. Whereas if you're going to get a credit card from a box store, it's considered a hard hit on your credit. So that's also a benefit to come into our location.
Okay.
Setting up an
So that's
account.
not exclusive to just a contractor, or
It is not.
I mean, it could be if I'm building the deck and I say, hey, let's start a charge account, and
Yep.
maybe a good way to keep records of it too.
Correct.
Yep.
And what's nice when you come in and you start working with a sales rep like myself, from the start to the end of your project, I am your contact person.
Okay.
So you're not having to deal with multiple different people. And like I said, we have our own, if you're building a house, we have our own cabinet department. And Bruce, that would be Bruce. And he works directly with us throughout the whole project.
Okay. So, I mean, do you guys have, a typical day, who's here? I mean, you're a salesman.
Yeah, we have
Two salesmen?
as of right now, we have 3 salesmen,
3 salesmen?
Manager, our bookkeeper, and 2 yard guys.
Okay.
With the pandemic and everything that's been up and down, and we have to plug gaps where we can. And
Okay. From trouble finding employees, or?
finding employees, People being sick, people
Yep.
being quarantined.
Yep.
Our manager has been out doing deliveries.
Kind of
Everybody's
doing what you need to do to get everything done.
everybody's pulling their weight.
So I get a follow-up question about the charge account. What kind of credit are you guys looking for to give to start that charge account? Are you saying, hey, we want you to have excellent credit, top notch, or if somebody that's got some dings and just a basic person, is that somebody that you guys are willing to work with too?
Yeah, absolutely. We work with all sorts, and they're actually very flexible. They might follow up with a few questions of maybe what happened here, and they're also very good at working with lenders. When you're building a new home, most people need to go to the bank and take out a construction loan. At that point, our credit department works with their bank, so it allows them an additional 30 days when they start construction on their house before they're paying any interest.
Because you can only, if you start a construction loan, you can only draw out of that loan. There's a set amount of times, isn't there?
Usually,
I suppose it
yes.
depends on the bank. And
Yep.
I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about that, but I know it's limited. So if you had a charge account set up here, and you rack up quite a bill, so you're not, drawing every week from that construction loan.
Right. It saves quite a bit of interest throughout the term or course of the construction
Yep.
loan.
Yep.
So that just kind of rolls right into my question. Do you guys offer any incentive programs? If I'm building a house, it's great that I get a free hat out of the deal, but do you guys have any other incentive programs here at Lamperts?
We do, and it's called Lamperts. You earn points back for X amount. For each dollar you spend, you earn Lamperts points back, which can be used to purchase anything that you want with a receipt.
Okay.
Bring a receipt in. They also do, Lamperts puts on trips each year for, it's primarily for our contractors, but I've seen some customers that have, spent a significant amount of money here be able to go this year. They're going to Iceland. The cost of the trip, I believe, per couple is right around $9,200, and the majority of our contractors are signed up to go. It's not costing them anything out of pocket.
So $9,200 per person. How much per couple? How much lumber do I need to buy so I can go on a trip to Iceland?
You're probably looking at $500,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just a normal house for you, Tab, that you sell.
Yep.
That's right. There you go. Yeah. But they still get a hat too, right?
They get a hat
and
and
a
a pencil.
That's the
And a pencil.
Oh, and a pencil. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
See, we're getting a good pot for everybody here. We're not just looking out for ourselves here. We're trying to get you a trip to Iceland. We're trying to get you a new hat, trying to get you a free pencil. And, maybe if they threw in a Traeger grill,
Which was right in the doorway as we walked
Yeah,
in. Like
and-
screaming. What do we have to do to get a Traeger grill?
yeah.
I can put one in your truck today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I start with those charge accounts?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we not tell our wives?
Do they watch your YouTube channel?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay, Joe. Contractor referrals. What are we talking about? What's a contractor referral?
So when a customer walks in and they want to build a deck, we have an extensive pool of contractors that we choose from that we've worked with, for years.
Okay.
So you're not taking a risk at, calling somebody off of Craigslist
Oh,
or.
okay.
And for an example, like if a customer is looking to build a deck, we'll refer them a contractor that specializes in that area. If we have a customer looking to build a custom home, we have contractors that specialize in custom homes. We try not to pair contractors up with customers that could basically be a failure.
Okay. So you kind of a trusted list of people that have not only been successful, because you don't want to look bad either. You don't want to refer
Right.
someone to somebody and have that be a negative experience. That reflects poorly on you guys.
Correct. And usually I'll refer 2 to 3 contractors
Yep.
versus just one.
Yep.
Well, that kind of goes into. I worked with Joe in the past, obviously with claims coming in and being able to have somebody to help me. I've had Joe go and look at a couple of different roofs for a couple of my clients and just kind of help me out because as an insurance guy, I don't know. I don't know if something got hit by hail or if something got hit wrong or right. So Joe's helped me in that way of working with contractor referrals, because I'm able to talk to Joe, and Joe's able to, with their network, get me the right names of people so I can give them a call and try to help my client out in that way. I think a lot of people forget kind of the gap between, but all three of our industries together, without Joe, there's no way to fix anything after a claim. Without Joe, there's no real estate to actually sell. There's no houses to sell.
Well, and Joe's helping me out right now, matching some siding on a place that we're missing a piece of siding. It's discontinued. It's not going to be done again. And he helped me out, finding what the type of siding was, and we can't get the color. But Joe knew a guy that would paint it for us. And having those, and I'm gonna call you expert, Joe. Having those experts to rely on, just like you're referring, I'm referring stuff to you, you're referring stuff to others. I mean, it's a good network to have,
Right.
And we can all help each other out, and that's fantastic when it works out that way. So if, like, we currently keep a list at our office of contractors that we recommend to people, because as a realtor, people do, and you probably get this too.
Yeah.
They call and they say, hey, do you know anybody around that could build a deck for me? Or it could be as simple as, we got a leaky shed, whatever. But we could lean on you for those contacts as well, I suppose. I mean, you want to keep your contractors happy so they keep buying products from you. I want to keep my clients happy so they keep buying insurance or real estate from me. I mean, we can all help each other out, and that's awesome.
And that's kind of my big thing. When a big storm comes through, we usually get a lot of storm chasers. Because my one office is located in Ellsworth, right next to the Twin Cities. Real easy drive for a lot of storm chasers to get there from different states. And, I always cringe when a client comes in and they hand me this folder or they hand me this card and it's a quote. And I usually tell my clients, hang on, let me make a couple of calls. Let me get a second opinion on this, because I want to make sure that I'm going with a good contractor or recommending a good contractor, because at the end of the day, I think there's too many people out there trying to make a buck off of somebody versus trying to do the right thing. And, that's where we can lean on each other. And I think it's been a really nice thing and a good networking tool for each other. So,
yeah.
Well, we're always looking for new contractors as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you to Lamperts of Amery. This was helpful to me. I don't know if it's helpful to people that listen, but I enjoy having these conversations.
Yeah, I think this is probably our best one that we've had.
Yeah.
I think everybody kind of forgets that instead of going to that big box store, coming to your local hardware lumber store and being able to pick up something real quick and easy is a big way to help out your community. And so really thank you, Joe, for letting us come in here, and thank you, Lamperts of Amery, for letting us shoot this today. So
thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks again to Joe and Lamperts of Amery for letting us be able to come in here, talk to Joe, learn more about the business that, me and Tad, we think we kind of know stuff, but most of the time we're wrong. So being able to actually get to know a little bit more about Lamperts and everything they do, we really appreciate that, and really appreciate Joe taking time out of his day to talk to us.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to I think like he was saying, having that. I'm a person that I want to have a guy. If I have an insurance question, I want to call my guy. Sometimes I think, like the big box stores, you lose that. I mean, there's a place for it. You can get stuff. There's a lot of stuff. It's cheap. But having a guy to go talk to that like all that stuff Joe was talking about. I think there's value in that. Sometimes it's even you walk into those stores, you ask them a question, and they give you valuable information, and then you buy 33 cents worth of parts.
Yeah.
But so paying a little bit more, there's value to that information that you obtained while you were there.
Well, and absolutely for like a guy like myself who is awful with my hands, in high school you can take home ec or you could take shop class. Well, home ec is where I spent most of my time, as you can see with my size, but I didn't want to lose a finger. So, when I walk into the big box stores and I'm looking for something that, I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking for or what I need, being able to come into a store and actually have a guy that's literally going to help me from start to finish is a huge thing for me. And then also, the contractor referral is huge too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I could always call Randy out, my dad, and we could go and try to build something, but we're not going to get the high quality that we're probably looking for.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I guess one topic we wanted to kind of cover quickly is I mean, everybody understands what this pandemic. I don't know if everybody understands, but everybody knows that we've been suffering through a pandemic for, I don't even know. We're going on 2 years.
Almost
now.
2 years now. Yeah.
So one thing that I am curious to ask you, because I've never asked you this before, but you meet with customers. You meet with them in your office. You meet with them in their home, remotely probably sometimes. Through this pandemic, with sanitizing and shutdowns and masks and all the stuff we've had to go through, how has that affected how you interact with people?
Yeah. So, when everything first kind of started, I was doing 99% of my meetings were face to face. I was going to people's houses. They were coming into my office. Not really thinking anything of it. If you were up in Danbury, I'd drive up to Danbury to your house, meet with you, go over everything, look at your property, do everything that way. When the pandemic hit, I went from 100 miles an hour down to about 2, and learning different products like Zoom and other of the. Zoom is probably the biggest one I use because it is free, and being able to have meetings with my clients that way. We started doing that. We slowly started getting back out there and meeting with people again. The biggest thing that I always try to do is, and I tell people right from the beginning, I want to make you as comfortable as possible. So if they want me to wear a mask, I wear a mask. I have hand sanitizer in my car, in my truck. Everything that I'm trying to do
when you could find it.
Yeah, when I could find it. Yeah. I always try to, like, when I'm having a meeting with somebody, I try to make sure I'm staying my 6 feet away from each other while we're having our meeting, especially when we're sitting down, just because, that's a common courtesy, and, I don't want to really scare anybody away.
Yes.
For me, it changed my business quite a bit, but, we're seeing people come back to the old ways. The one thing that I really never wanted to give up on, and I know a lot of people did, I was taught as a young kid that if you shake somebody's hand, it means your word.
Yeah.
So, when that kind of went away, it kind of scared me because that was my way of life and how I was taught. So that was a big thing for me.
Yeah, that was a huge adjustment, and it was, interacting with people that so many other people are like that too. So when you were done talking, or you were gonna, like for me, if I was at a showing and then we were gonna go our separate ways, both people would reach their hand out, then everybody would be like, ooh,
yeah,
we can't, and then some people, I mean, and me we always let our buyers or our sellers, guide us. We put some rules in place where, we put some rules in place, but at the end of the day, we let our clients, our customers guide us. Okay, do you want to meet face to face, or would you rather do this over the phone or Zoom, or some other FaceTime, or okay, now I have your house listed for sale. People are going to come in. How do we want to handle this? I mean, our kind of philosophy was, okay, if you're a buyer and you're coming into one of our sellers' houses, at minimum, we want you to sanitize your hands before you go in. Let's let the agent touch all the door handles. So we only have one set of hands. If you want to open a cabinet, it was kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to look in this cabinet, or I want to open this door, so that you open. You're doing your best. And some people were, and everybody is I don't certainly don't want to go down a political rabbit hole here, but everybody was different.
Yep.
Some people were just frustrated, like, just let me do it myself. Like, well, this is what the seller wants, and at the end of the day, it's their home.
Yep.
So I mean, we're going to follow their rules, and some people were even uncomfortable. It was awkward for a while. But then people started to get used to it and understood why we were doing it, and it got better. I just said this at a meeting last night. We've done so many Zoom meetings and different things. There's customers walking out. It's a little awkward, but that I really want to be careful, like you said about the handshakes. I don't want to slip into some virtual world where we don't get to. I love face to face with people. I like meeting new people. I like, you you can write an email to somebody, but you can't see their expression on their face. You know, you can even talk to them on the phone. You can gauge their tone, but seeing someone face to face to me is just that's the part of the business that I miss, and I'm glad we're kind of getting back.
What I miss, I miss the excitement.
Yeah.
Like, when you get to meet somebody and it's their first home in both of our worlds, how excited they are to get it. Or if somebody buys a new toy for the first time, somebody just bought a brand new side-by-side, how excited he was to be able to show that off to his insurance guy that, hey, look what I got. And when you're doing it on the phone or you're getting an email, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
Like, I want to enjoy the excitement with him. But
Yeah.
I think we're both navigating through the pandemic and everything going on. I think, the biggest thing for both of us is it's always going to be a learning curve. It's always going to be changing.
Yep.
But once again, I think we're going to wrap it up here because it's getting hot time here at Lamperts and Amery. So we're going to wrap it up today. We want to thank Lamperts once again for letting us come in here and do it. Thank Joe for being flexible with us and letting us do this. This is Trent Nyhus, Farmers Insurance, the Nyhus Agency, and
Tad with LakePlace.com. Thanks, Lamperts, so much for letting us do this here.
Yeah, and make sure you put a comment below. Could be a fun gift for you. So thanks again. See you next week, guys.